Hi, today I'm going to discuss the eligibility criteria and show you how to apply for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship program. As I discussed in a previous video, the scholarship is available to students from 100 countries all around the world, and it offers 900 full degree programs. Also, 30 best Hungarian universities are involved in this program. And most importantly, the application process has been announced in the early November and it will end on 15th January next year. That means if you are a permanent resident of one of these 100 countries, you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. But when it comes to choosing your field of study and one of the universities, the eligibility criteria for admission varies. However, there are four requirements for admissions in all of the universities. The first is passing marks in your previous degree. It is important to remember that no specific grade has been mentioned in the online application form. So you must have a passing grade in your previous degree to apply for bachelor's, master's, or even PhD. The second requirement is passing the entrance exam. It will be conducted by the universities. The third requirement is getting passing marks in the interview. It will also be conducted by the universities that you choose. The fourth requirement is presenting a language proficiency certificate. For bachelor's and master's students, it is not compulsory to present only an international language test certificate. But if you can manage such a certificate from your previous institute, then it is also acceptable. But for PhD students, it is compulsory to present an international language proficiency certificate, for instance, IELTS or TOEFL or any other such certificate. And finally, for PhD students, there is no entrance exam. You only have to appear in an interview. I will talk about the nature of these exams and interview, but first let me show you how you can apply for the scholarship. So the application process has been divided into two separate parts, and you have to fulfill all the requirements of both parts separately. The first part consists of filling the application form on the Tempus Foundation website, which is common for all the students from 100 countries. The second part involves sending a separate application to a sending partner in your own country. I know it sounds complex, but it is not. Let's discuss the first part, and I will tell you about what this sending partner thing is at the end of this video. In the first part of the application process, there are three important tasks to complete. Number one, register and log in to the online application portal. The second task is to choose a study program and the institution that you want to study in. And the third task is to provide all the required documents in the application portal. Let me show you how you can complete each task. To register and to log in to the online application portal, you have to use the following link. So the first task in the application process is to register and log in to the online application portal. And to complete this task, we are going to use this link, stipendiumhungaricum.hu. So it leads us to this main window of the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Program. So this website has all the relevant details for applying to this scholarship successfully. So let's start with the first task of registering. So you click on call for application. You click apply here, and it will the main window for the online application portal. So at the right upper corner, you see sign in and registration. You click on this, and if you are a new user, you have to click I am a new applicant. Write your email. Make sure that you are using an email that is regular in your use. So don't use a random email, because that is going to be your main source of communication with the universities and ultimately with the Tempus Foundation who provides this scholarship. So write your email and click on registration, you will get a link in your email and click on the link, set your password, and then you can log in. Since I have already created a login, so I'm going to just use my password. So this is the online application portal. So once you have logged in, you see the main application portal, and I'm going to tell you important things to notice here. So first thing, at the right upper corner, you see your name, and when you click on your name, you see your ID. So this is your application ID. This is going to be important to remember, and it's going to be in use in future. So you have to keep this in mind. So at the left side, you see different dialog boxes. The first is to find your program. Second is to browse your institution. Third shows your application status. And fourth shows the messages. You will receive messages from the Tempest Foundation as you go on in the process of filling the application form. There are other guidelines. You can read these guidelines to fully understand the application process. So after logging in, the second step is to find your program, your field of study, and you can use this interface to find your particular study program. So you can search all institutions, or if you have a particular university in your mind, you can choose that particular institute and department here. So for the beginners, it's easy to find the program first. So let's start with an example of a bachelor's program. Let's say you are going to study computer science. You have to choose bachelor's of science according to your subject. If it is an art subject, you can choose bachelor's of arts here. So since it's a part of science, so we are going to find our programs. And if you notice here, you have to mark some boxes here and unmark others. For instance, you have to select the language here. For most students, it's going to be English, so I have already selected English. And the mode of study is going to be full degree study, so I've chosen that. And the year we are applying for is 2026 and 2027 scholarship program. So once you have entered your desired field of studies and your desired level of studies, you will see various options that are available, that you can study the same subject in different universities, right? So there are multiple universities offering the same course. Now the question is how to choose a university if you don't know what these universities are. And one of the easy solution is to go to an online university ranking system and find out the best universities in Hungary. So what I have done is I have already mentioned top 10 universities in Hungary, right? So these are some of the universities which are at in top 10 in Hungary, not in the world, but in Hungary. So they have different rankings at world levels. So when you use the online university ranking website, you will be able to specify the number on international levels. So Edward Laurent University is the number one university in Hungary. Semmelweis University is second, and Semmelweis University is the best university for medical sciences. University of Sage is the name of city, so it's based in Sage. Budapest University of Technology and Economics. This is also a good university. It is in Budapest city, and so there are a number of universities in top 10. So you're going to use these uh, to select your university. Okay, so let's go back to our main interface here. For a BS level, you have chosen we have chosen uh, computer science, and I'm going to choose, let's say, Laurent University, Laurent University, the number one university in Hungary. And I have got my desired study field. I have got my desired university. Now I'm going to click apply now. And once I click to apply, I have to go through all these details. Generally, it tells you about the deadline, about the requirements. So at the left side, you will see the first dialog box that is about your profile. So to start filling the application form, we have to start. You can start from any part, but just to make sense, you have to give the details about your name, your ID, and so on and so forth. So uh, it's very simple, it's easy, everything is written in detail, so you don't need to worry about anything. So if you don't understand anything, you can go to these guidelines and you can read about it, and then you can fill it again. So as you fill the details, you can save your draft here. So let's say uh, I write something here, like let's say passport number, a random number I put here. Then you can then I can save as, right. So the options marked with the red color hysteric, you have to fill them all. It is important you don't miss them. There are some options which are kind of optional and you don't have all the details, so you can leave them for now, right? So this option is for uploading your picture. It should be a passport size picture. It should be clear. It shows your face, and even they even guide you how to upload the picture. So it's pretty easy to use. After profile, you have to add your contacts, like your home address, street number, house number, city, town. So you already know where you are living, so you can add these details also. Your name, email address, phone number. For emergency contact, you can use name of your relatives or your friend, so that they can contact in emergency. And then you have to add the education, right? Since we have chosen a bachelor's program as our field of study, we have to only add our secondary education here, right? So we can add a secondary education and all the related details, like the status of studies. We have finished our secondary education, the name of our university or the school or college, when the degree started, and you know when it started and when it ends. So name of the program, was it medical, was it pre-engineering, or was it ICOM or BCom? So you know your details about the the degree that you have completed. So some other details, these are pretty easy. Like study location, you can add the location of your college or your university, and the GPA and grades that you have scored there, right? And you have to answer these questions according to your status. It is important
important that you do not miss these questions. You have to answer them honestly, and then you are good to go with your education part. Next is languages. How many languages you speak? You speak English, then you add the English language, right? You write English here, that's you select English here, and if you have a certificate, well and good. If you do not, and then you can guess your proficiency level in English and write some appropriate degree. Okay, so if you have certificate, this makes it easy, but since you do not need a certificate, that is not required. Once you are done with this, then you can insert new language here, and then you can tell them which other languages you speak. If you speak more than one language, you can add them as you like. Next is employment. If you have been working in a full-time or part-time job, if you have done some internships, you can add them here. You can add the name of company, when you started, when it finished, it is continuous, or whatever the status of your employment is, right? And this part is about activities that you have done as a student. It could be a co-curricular activity, it could be a voluntary job, voluntary work, voluntary community service, or something like that. Maybe you have participated in a conference, maybe you have attended a training. Then you have to name the activity, name the organization, and you can add as if you have more activities to add. Okay. This is again about your country of residence. You tell where you're from and when you started living there, and till when. If you have left your country for some reason, you can also mention that the purpose of study is like your native country. You are born in that country, so that could be one reason. And next is motivation letter. This is going to be the most important part of your application. So they have already guided you how to write the motivation letter, and they have given you some questions, and you can answer these questions in the motivation letter in a form of story. It's a it's your personal story, so you don't need to ask anybody about what you have done, and you can answer these questions depending on your story, right? So I'm going to talk about how to write the motivation letter maybe in some another video. Today I'm just giving you the know-how about the application form. And next is documents. So you can upload documents here, whatever documents you have. So I'm going to show you the checklist of documents. So if you see here, please carefully study the requirements in the checklist and upload the required documents to the application system until the deadline. So if you click on the checklist, you are going to see the list of documents that you have to submit. So this is a kind of a detailed list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some another list that is more precise. So I have not written the list. This is provided by the Tempus Foundation as well. So documents for our applicants. So these are the application documents that every candidate has to provide in the application form to complete the application process, right? So first is the online form that you're filling. Second is motivation letter, right? Minimum 1 page, type it in Times Roman, 12-point letters, like this is a font size, written in the language of the selected study. So if you are studying In English language, you have to write the motivation language, motivation letter in English language. If you are studying a Hungarian language, maybe in Hungarian language, you have to write the motivation letter in that language. Third is a proof of language proficiency. Now, if you read the details, in case the student has completed his or her previous level of studies in the language of the selected study program, proof can be uploaded about the fact that the language of education was the same as the language of study program that the applicant is now applying for. So you can get this certificate from your previous institute. If you have studied your previous degree in English language, so if your books were in English language, then you can ask for a certificate, and that also works. So that means you don't need a what do you say, international language proficiency certificate. So this certificate from your previous institute is going to work as a proof that you can speak the language that you are studying, that you have chosen to study program in a particular language. Second is school certificates. All of your secondary school, bachelor levels, master levels. So depending on your level of study. So if you are applying for PhD, then you need secondary, bachelor's, and master's degrees. If you are applying for master's level, then of course you know that you need a secondary level and bachelor's level uh, original certificates. And then you have transcripts of records that you get along the certificates of your degrees. So you know what these transcripts are. So one thing is important to remember: if your certificates and transcripts are not in Hungarian, not in English language, or the language that you have selected to study your degree in, then you have to get translation of these certificates and transcripts. And the other document that you require is copy of identification document. Uh, so if you have a passport, that is the most easy thing to write here. If you are using your national ID card, that is that you whatever application, whatever identification document you have mentioned in the application, you have to upload that document. Acceptance of statement for application in the online system. So this is the last step. When you finish the application, you have to agree um, uh, with it with some statements of application, that you have to explicitly say that I agree with the privacy guidelines. And if, for instance, if you have submitted a fake certificate, then they can remove you from application process and all these kind of rules. So that means you agree with that. And other document is medical certificate. This is not required at this time. Once you are selected at some stage, then you need this. You don't need this at the beginning of the application process. So let's go back to the application portal. So once we have filled all these details and submitted all the documents, you can save, you can submit your application. So if you are in the middle of filling the application form, you can see your application status here. So here you can see the application is still a draft. It is not complete. So once you have completed it and submitted it, then it shows that the status, the application is complete or is submitted, right? So one important thing that I must tell you is that you see here, you can apply for two different institutions. And for instance, let's go for a program here. And so we have selected computer science as our desired study program. we find again, so we can choose a second university. So let's say we have chosen it was Laurent University, the number one university in Hungary, which is what we have selected first for first application. For second application, I would suggest that you select a university that is not in top 10. So uh, l- let's see a university that I have not mentioned in top 10 here. So for computer science, I have not mentioned Catholic University in the top 10 universities. So the idea is this: select one university from the top 10 universities and select one university from the other 20 universities. And that the reason is that if for some reason you are not able to get admission in the first university, it is likely that you will get the admission in the other university. So let's say we apply for this university as well. So we have to fill our profile here again, and some of the data will show here. Some you have to fill. So when you go to your application status, here you can see that we have two applications for two different universities, and you can select your priority here. The first, they will consider the first option that you have selected here as your priority option, and second is the second priority option. So they will look for your admission in the first one, and if you don't get admission, then they will give you a chance for the second one. So to increase your chances, select different universities at different levels of quality in higher education in Hungary. Right. So this is true for all levels, like for bachelors, for masters, and for PhD student. You have to fill the same details, and you have the same interface. And since we are already filling one or two application forms, now the portal is guiding us and telling us which documents we have to upload. So as you go on in the application process, you have to upload the application documents here that we have already mentioned. And once you have uploaded all the documents, and once you have filled all the required details, then you can submit your application here. So this is the portal. You are going to deal with this portal till the beginning of, even after your selection for this scholarship, and even when you come to Hungary, you are going to have to deal with this portal. There are different tasks that you have to do when you come to Hungary, and you have to use this portal again. So before I conclude my discussion on the first part of application, I have to show you examples of applications for masters and PhD. So let's delete the examples for bachelor degrees. And you can delete the applications if you have filled something wrong, or you want to change the university or your degree program. So that's not the issue. So let's find a master's degree program. What we are going to study in master's is graphic designing. I have to select the Masters of Arts and find the program. So you can see master courses for arts and craft, graphic design, I choose, let's say, Istvan University, just to show you the application status. It looks same like the bachelor's application, but when you go for the the documents requirement part, you have a similar requirement, but one thing is different, that is portfolio. For the students of art, this is again a basic requirement that you have to submit your portfolio also. So this is the only difference that I can see uh, between the applications for bachelor's uh, and masters. And even if you study arts in bachelor's, you have to submit a portfolio. So again, even that is not a major difference here. Okay, and let's go for another program here. This time, let's say you are studying philosophy and at PhD level. Okay, let's find a university here. Okay, at and University, the number one university in Hungary, offers PhD philosophy programs. I apply here, and you see the same uh, interface, same requirements, same details to fill in. And when you go for the tasks, what you see is, you see do you see any difference? I don't. Oh yeah, you see this difference of statement of supervisor. So, and also one difference is letter of recommendation, and another difference is research proposal. So you have to submit your research proposal, letter of recommendation, and statement of the supervisor. This is only specifically for the PhD student. And as I mentioned earlier, you have to show proof of foreign language proficiency, which is also required. We philosophers don't need a portfolio. So if you are studying arts on a PhD level, then you need a portfolio also. So uh, so this concludes my discussion about the first part.
Remember, you have 2 months to complete the application process, so don't panic. In the second part of the application process, you have to fill a separate application to a sending partner in your own country. So, who are these sending partners? So, a sending partner is an institution in each of the 100 countries which has a bilateral agreement with the Hungarian government. I hope by now you know which institution in your own country acts as a sending partner to the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship program. If you don't know, let's use the following link to find out which institution in your country acts as a sending partner for the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship program.
So the second part of application process, we are going to use the following link provided by the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship Program application portal. So as you can read, sending partners and available study programs. This is the interface that will help you find out the sending partner in your country. Let's look for some examples here. Let's look at Bangladesh. So if you select Bangladesh, you see the name of responsible authority in Bangladesh. It is called Secondary and Higher Education Division, Ministry of Education, and the responsible person is also named, and their contact details is also mentioned here. At the left side, these are the degree programs that students from Bangladesh can apply into all these degree programs. There are some partial studies also available for the Bangladesh students. Let's go for another country. That is Cuba. I like Cuba, that's fine. Name of the responsible authority is Ministerio de Educación Superior. Name of the responsible person is also mentioned similarly. So this is the easiest way to find out the sending part in your country. As a last example, I'm going to show you Pakistan, and the responsible institution in Pakistan is the Higher Education Commission, HEC of Pakistan. So most students already know this. So students from other countries can also use this interface and find out which institution in your country takes the responsibility. As final example, let's look at India. So University Grants Commission is responsible for application process in India, and a lot of degrees are available for Indian students to study here. So that's it. The first and second part of application process uh, are kind of complete at this stage. So just as a general guideline, uh, the documents you would be submitting for the Tempest Foundation or the Stipendium Hungaricum Scholarship admission portal, you are going to use the same document, so you don't need to worry about any different kind of document. But there are some differences which vary from country to country. So the next video, I'm going to talk about Pakistan. That's the only institution. That's the only country that I know uh, in detail, and its process and how it works. So I'm going to talk about Pakistan.
Since there are 100 countries, it is not possible for me to discuss the application process for each of the 100 countries. But what I can do is I will try to find out some videos which discuss the application processes for different countries. If you want to find out how to write the motivation letter or how to find a potential supervisor for your PhD studies, then you can tune in to my next video. Thank you.